have on this? What is your pleasure?
May I make a motion to invite Mayor Councilor DeMaria up to speak?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to invite the mayor before us. All in favor? Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Mayor. Hello, Mr. Mayor.
Hi, good evening.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. So, Councilor Rogers, did you want me to speak or you want a question fine first or?
If you would like to speak, I think that might be a good prompt.
All right, great, thank you. So I know this has been before you a couple times, and I just wanted to just come back up and just reiterate my feelings for this. You know, I think a lot of you see the square now. It's not in the best condition. It's, you know, we have a blighted building that is sitting there in the square that's been, you know, empty and dilapidating for a long time. And I truly feel that if we did some upgrades in that area, like these upgrades that we're doing here before you, I think it would give some impetus to someone who'd want to try to redevelop the square. Everyone talks about how the square is not really a community-oriented square. This is a way for us to make it more user-friendly. You know, we had the, just recently we had the community gardens, the, what was it called there? The vegetable fair. Can someone help me here? Community growers had an event of 1,000 people and we had to shut down School Street. If we did this renovation here, we wouldn't have to shut School Street down anymore. You know, you can do events right in the square itself. You have plenty of community space. We're creating a community space here. Currently, right now, there's only one person operates and uses the squares is in Oliveras. We are trying to open up to everybody. Trying to create dining on weekends for other restaurants in the area. We want to program, you know, pop-up events where you have some food trucks or arts and festivals there. I mean, it's a beautiful design. I know actually one of you campaigned on revitalizing Everett Square. I think it was you, Councilman Pietrantonio, that one of your campaign pieces was to revitalize Everett Square. You know, so this is the first step in revitalizing Everett Square. We are receiving money from the Gaming Commission, and that's not taxpayers' money. That's just monies that go to the gaming mitigation fund that cities apply for those dollars to mitigate any impacts that the casino may have. So it's not taxpayers' dollars, and that we receive some of that money for this project also. You know, I can't stress enough how I feel about it. You know, between brand new sidewalks and all new pavers, and you know, you can, if you want, you can. With this plan, you can shut down, if you wanted to, Norwood Street and create outdoor dining on the whole area where you can reroute traffic in the back and come right out School Street onto Broadway. I mean, you have a lot of opportunities to do a lot of great things. And I just feel that it'd be unfortunate that we didn't take the vote and vote for it this evening. And we do need 8 votes. And we do have an earmark pending in the Economic Development Bill. That Representative McGonigal has you know, in the State House to support this also. But I'd like to see you all vote for it. And possibly we wouldn't have to use the funds, but I'd like to see where you stand on revitalizing Everett Square. To me, I think it's the first step in trying to get this area cleaned up. If you like what it looks like now, you know, I guess it's, you know, how you feel, but to me, it's not conducive to what a square should look like. You know, we really haven't had a nice Everett Square in a while now, so this is the first step.
Thank you. Councilor Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. President. My question is more related to like the procedural of how we got the funding from the state, because to me, it would make more sense that the project is presented and approved to the council before getting funding from the state. But
Just repeat that one time.
I'm just trying to figure out the procedural process in this because it's my understanding we got money secured from the state to do this project. However, the project itself wasn't approved by the city council yet. Wouldn't it make more sense to get our approval before getting the funding from the state, or is this just standard practice?
Do you mean the earmark that we have in the economic development bill that Representative McGonigal was able to get in?
Yes.
So that's an earmark that will make up the difference. You know, we hope that that earmark gets to us. Sometimes, from what I'm told, that it has to be taken up after it's approved to get the funding. I feel positive that we're going to get the additional monies that we need to finish it. But for us to put out to bid, we need to have all the money from the city, you know, to be able to put that out to a legal bid. We have to have all the money secured. We have to have the funds to meet the procurement of it, right? So we do have enough money. I think we've got some gaming commission money. We had, I'll tell you right here, Mass Gaming Commission money, and we did get some legislative earmarks, and then we have a pending earmark for additional funds in the House version of the Economic Development Bill. So we already had an earmark that we have those funds. We have the Gaming Commission funds, and so we need the entire amount of money to put it out to bid. Just in case we don't get that last earmark, we wouldn't have the ability to pay the contractor. So
with the gaming commission and the funds that were already secured
right,
for this project.
correct. It doesn't meet the total amount.
Okay.
Right. The last, I think, million or two is the latest earmark that Representative McGonigal got us.
I don't know, because I know that if we don't use it for this, we lose it. And I was just thinking it would make more sense that the project is approved by us. And
Yeah, we definitely need this approved by you all. Yes. We will lose the Gaming Commission earmark, which again is not taxpayers' money. We'll lose the existing earmark that we already did receive. And I believe that was from Senator DiDomenico, if I'm not mistaken, that has been already awarded. That will go back. It just doesn't set a good precedent. I mean, I don't get it. I really, you know, sending money back and not expending the dollars just doesn't look good before the Gaming Commission when we apply for money again. And it won't look good before the state legislature when we're asking for earmarks again that we got voted, it was voted down. So, you know, I'm hoping that there's not 1 cent comes from a taxpayer in the city here. That's my goal. That's my hope. I think it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure Representative McGonigal and Senator DiDomenico will make sure that earmark, the second earmark, gets approved, which is new news, right? Since your last meeting, that has been something new that we worked with the rep and the senator to get, and they got it for us. I just like to get it put out the bid, get it redesigned, rebuilt, and revitalize the square. I mean, it needs it. You know, we're going to move the bus stop out of there. We're going to create, it's just going to be a beautiful area. You can take your children down there. And like I said, we can program it and do the community growers, community gardens. I forget what it's called. It's not even community growers or community gardens, or whatever it was. The latest event we just had, 1,000 people were at. We could do that right on that area. You know, we can allow people to do a lot of good things there. So
Thank you.
I'm hoping for favorable action tonight from all of you. I'd like to get all of you to vote favorable for it.
Thank you. Councilor, you all set? Councilor Matusky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Mayor, there's another item on this agenda tonight, item 24.
Yes.
You know, I'm in favor of.
I'm in favor of that too. I
Okay, well, that was my question to you.
Yeah.
How can we spend all this money on doing?
I think we already hired an appraiser to appraise the building. And so we'll have that done. And we'll go forward with the public use. And I'll have the conversations with the president at the time and make sure that it's something that I think he would like and that he can talk to all of you about that.
Okay, because as you know, I've had this at least 3 or 4 times over the last
you've been adamant, yes.
7 years, and Councilor Rogers and I agree on this immensely, but I can't vote to do the square unless we're going to get rid of that blighted building. It's assessed for $948,000, as you probably know. They pay $23,000 a year in taxes, which is about $2,000 a month. And for what that building has done to our square and the positive reactions that other people are trying, the coffee in a box next to Mr. O'Neill's, the beautiful flowers, and the guy in the deli shop try to do the right thing. There's very few that are doing the right thing in the square. You know, no offense to any business people, but I'll vote for this money tonight, and I hope my colleagues do too. Now that we understand that you are in favor of taking that that building, but the Bouvier building known as, if you are in favor of that, because it's going to be referred to your office tonight to take action. You know, I had planned to put it on a few months ago, but then I heard, but anyway, at this stage of the game, it's just a shell game and smoke and mirrors with that building. So if you are in favor of that, going forward, I'm going to vote for this money tonight. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am in favor of it.
Could I ask council for a motion to take item 24 so we can have that one dealt with collectively with
So
this
moved,
item?
Mr. President.
All in
Suspend the
favor?
rules.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. If you could, Mr. Cook, just read item 24 and then we can continue the discussion.
Item number 24, Mr. President, is a resolution offered by Councilor Katie Rogers, a resolution to consider acquiring the Bouvier Building on Broadway in Everett Square by eminent domain and propose its redevelopment for public community benefits.
Okay, I have an order here. I have Councilor Marchese.
Man, do we have a price on the total amount of this?
The total project for
For the,
the renovation of the square, I think it's, do we have a total number, Eric? 5 million?
Yeah.
$5 million.
now, in the event that the building we want to take by eminent domain, we tear it down and we have to run the utilities to it, don't we run them right through the Park Movie Building? And we're kind of going,
No, you can bring it from Norwood Street, Broadway, Norwood.
so there'll be nothing disruptive, not that electrical box, nothing that'll be there, that'll be disruptive of this park after we spend the money?
No, you can definitely, you know, your family's in construction, you know that. We can run,
Yeah,
you can run the conduit, you can run any conduit you want from the Everett's, right in the middle of the square, up Norwood Street, into the parcel if you want to run utilities to it. So, I mean, you can grab utilities from anywhere. And they're on Norwood Street, so you can grab them from Norwood Street.
So why did that say, do we have to spend 5 million if we have some money appropriated from the Gaming Commission and some from,
Well, we just
Oh,
did, we're not expending $5 million. We're looking, I think tonight the order, I believe, is 3 million. We have an earmark for 3 million that Representative McDonald just got the city, but it's not in our hands. You know what I mean?
So Mayor, can I just clarify? So just so this council understands, so the total project cost has been represented to us as 5 million.
Right.
There's a $1.4 million Mass Gaming Commission
Right.
grant, and there's a $600,000 legislative earmark. Is
Correct.
there are there additional funding resources now tonight that are new that would reduce the 3 million that we're going to have to borrow?
So we're asking for a borrowing tonight of 3 million, right? We have another earmark that has been approved in the economic development bill. Representative McGonigal was able to get that $3 million, but that is not in, we don't have possession of that $3 million.
Okay.
So we're asking for the ability to put this product out to bid and hoping the fact that we don't have to spend that $3 million. But if you would be voting tonight, you will be voting to give me the authority to bond $3 million in case that earmark does not come through.
Okay. So the
2 million?
probability.
2 million. $2 million earmark? $2 million earmark.
So the probability is that this could potentially just be a $1 million.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Councilor Hanlon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With honor the mayor. I'm reading this thing, said for redevelopment for public community benefits, this building that we're talking about. What kind of benefits would you put in that building?
The Bouvier building? So I mean, that would, if we were to take that building by eminent domain, and I don't want to confuse the two, but because we're not taking that tonight, we're not asking for any money.
Well, we got.
I mean, you know, my thought would always be that this building is so ornate and so big that this would be a great building to surplus eventually, but this would be something we'd have to discuss, you know, and look to maybe relocate, you know, City Hall in the square with some retail on the first floor, a smaller building, This building's a monster. It's 50,000 square feet. You have people who have offices, like my office is probably, I don't even know, 1,500, 1,600 square feet that's not needed. No one needs an office in this building. Most employees in this building have offices bigger than offices in Boston. I mean, they're huge. They're too big. This would be a great project for low-income housing. I would love to see something like 10, 20% AMI housing here. And I would do that with a developer to develop low-income housing for our residents. Because all I get in my office every day and on the phone is people looking for apartments, low-income apartments,
yeah,
not
I've
these
been,
market rate apartments.
Yeah, I've been in the building many times, and, you can't get to the second floor. It's too much of a climb.
Which
We had the American Legion were in that building. They kept their headquarters.
that would probably come down. If we were to take it, we'd take the building down. It would demolish the building.
Okay.
It would be demolished. We start, yeah, that building has to be demolished. It should be already condemned, but I think it is condemned, but it's just,
Okay, just don't want to see anybody going into the building because it's.
no one be going to that
And
building.
I've made that climb many times of going to the American Legion Hall,
Yeah,
but it's just too much of a grind.
it's too bad that building was allowed to become dilapidated like that and water damaged, because that American Legion Hall was, that room up there was unbelievable. It was beautiful. The handcrafted wood mantles and so forth, but that will come down. But that's not on the table tonight. Tonight, I'm just looking for the ability to put this out to bid, so I can get a contractor to bid on this. And I'm hoping to not have to, expend more than maybe $1 million.
You all set, Councilor?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Councilor Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before we proceed, I would like to add Councilor Matusky and Councilor DePiero as sponsors of this piece. This is a long-term project of Councilor Matusky that he brought up before my time. And so I want to honor and respect that.
Second. Motion is made. Second to add Councilors Matusky and DePiero to item 24 as co-sponsors. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Councilor Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. President, through you to the mayor. First and foremost, I will be supporting this tonight. However, I would be amiss not to mention some of the concerns that residents have brought up to my attention. And I'm sure many of them have already been echoed to you, but nonetheless, obviously traffic, keeping in mind pedestrians. I know we had discussions in previous meetings about potentially looking into a diagonal crosswalk or alternative solutions to make it a little bit more walkable in that area. Of course, parking. And I do appreciate the consolidation of the bus stops. I think that that's something really worth highlighting and one of the key things of this improvement. And of course, I do think that this entire discussion does need to be in tandem with the Bouvier building and potentially taking that by eminent domain. However, I will be proceeding to support this tonight because I do realize that that's a separate project. As you mentioned, as Councilor Matusky mentioned, it's become dilapidated. We need to do something. I think there's a variety of ways we can use that community space. So that's a discussion I hope we can continue in another time. So again, just if there could be a lot of, I'm trusting the process that there will be a lot of communication with the residents and getting resident feedback in this process. I know they're very concerned about protecting the veteran memorial. So I'm just asking that we get a lot of feedback throughout the process from our constituents.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think Jay Monty has availed himself to you all. And I think you, Councilman Pietrantonio, you've met with Mr. Monty a couple of times. And I was in a meeting with you and Councilman Smith where we appeased you all and we had your support for it that day. And then I think things might have changed, but I'm hoping that we can get this done this evening and get this, this square cleaned up. So we would definitely work with you all, continue to, during design and build out, whatever concerns you have or neighbors have, we want to get it cleaned up. So we want to revitalize the square. I know that was one of your pieces on your brochure. I actually have it. It was one of your main pieces. So yeah, I'm glad that you feel the same way. Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilor Rogers, you all set?
Thank you, that's all.
Okay, I have Councilor Pietrantonio.
Geez, that must have won me the election then,
Possibly.
right? Must have won me
You
the
never know.
election. So we're gonna,
Sure, it wasn't your cheerful.
so we're gonna take down Bouvier's building, which I love to hear that. And we're gonna move City Hall down there. So now we've got 72 million for the high school. 1 million for the middle school. 1 million for the elementary school. 1 million for the we got a police station, we got a high school, and now we're gonna build City Hall, a City Hall.
You don't, I just said, if we were to take it, we'd have to come up with a public use. So, so that would be, don't put words in my mouth. Okay, the reason why the high school has the $72 million price tag is before you is because that was the will of the council. Because I had $10 million to repair the roof.
And I'm going to remind both of you, excuse me,
That
gentlemen.
was gonna be thrown back at us. How did I know that?
Nothing-
Sooner
Counselor,
than I thought, though.
Nothing is
Sooner than I
being,
thought.
Pete, I've been here a long
Sooner than-
time.
I know you've been here a
Okay.
long time.
Yeah.
Counselor, I'm going to remind both of you that we're here on one piece, not the high school roof, not the high school. There's another time for that.
I am not,
And Mayor,
all I'm bringing
respectfully
up,
to you as well, if we could focus
I
on
didn't bring
this
up,
piece.
all I brought up was the money that we
Right.
need.
Well, let's
That's
focus
what I
on the,
brought
let's
up.
focus on the
He
Everett Square
threw
order
the
that
high
is
school up,
before us.
Not me.
I think you
Let's,
did.
Okay.
let's throw that, let's put
think you
that all
drew
to
it
the
to $17
side
million.
and discuss this one issue, please.
So let's take the building down and let's call it Everett Commons and put a nice common there with grass and trees. Let's do that and spend, instead of spending 5 million here. Let's not take the building down and let's make that Everett Commons use for everybody.
I'm sorry, what do you want to take down and make Everett Commons? You want to retake the square, so the square plan, just sod it all, make it all grass? You want to make the whole square grass?
I want to take down Bovier's building like you just mentioned. Did you say that or you didn't say that?
I gave you an
Okay.
example.
Okay, so I'm
there's a
giving you
piece-
an-
excuse
I'm
me, can I
giving you an-
speak? Can
I'm
I
giving
speak?
you
Can
an
I speak?
example.
Can I speak?
Every time I give you an example, you got to come back with a wise answer. To me, it's a wise answer.
Just so,
And you want to show me respect to me,
just so we're clear,
all right?
just,
You
Mayor,
can, you can laugh all
Excuse-
you want.
Counselor,
You can laugh all you want. All right,
Counselor.
Mr. Mayor?
Counselor, just so everyone understands, in order for us to take the Bouvier property, we have to have a declared public purpose for that. Whether it's to put City Hall there, let me just finish. Whether it's to put City Hall there, to put a public park there,
That's
put a-
what I'm
put a,
saying, a public
satellite
park.
police
That's
station
what I'm
there.
saying, Everett Commons.
Correct.
That's what I'm saying, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I thought I said that. Did I say that or
I
I
did hear,
didn't say that?
I did hear you say that. I
Okay, thank you.
think the mayor may have misheard you, but I did hear you say
I
that.
didn't miss here.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks for speaking for me.
this ain't going, I'm done.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for the mayor?
Move to excuse our guest.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for appearing.
I move for favorable
Motion
action
made,
on
second, favorable
the,
action on item number
on
16.
the first item.
I'm going to take item 16 first. Is there any discussion, Council Martins?
Thank you. On the motion, I just wanted to say that the people of Everett will always find me voting on the side of progress. I always will vote to make things look better. I appreciate that we have grants to use for this. I appreciate Mr. Monty's hours of work, but I can't support something that doesn't add additional parking. Because if we're bringing all these people, all these activities, as it is right now, we have to use sometimes the Walgreens parking, the bank parking lot. The two municipal lots are not enough to support what's going on. If we're going to have more activities, then so I will be a no tonight until there's a project that adds parking to the area.
Councilor Elsie Jabwen. On the motion.
On the motion, when I look at this piece, we all can interpret it in our own ways. And to me, square improvement to me means helping the businesses with storefront improvements. And spending $3 million to just do what they want to do, to me, it's a waste. I think the money could be well spent on helping business owners to revamp their properties, their business properties. So I won't be voting for this piece tonight.
Thank you. Councilor Pietrantonio.
I mean, to take the library and dismantle that area in front of the Parliament Library where the fountain is, the flagpoles, all the money we spent there a couple of years ago. I mean, that's a beautiful sight. Get on there at nighttime, the lights are there, beautiful. I don't know why we have to touch that. In front of the Bouvier's building, that area, I think if it was a little better maintained, if the grass maybe put some irrigation on to make the grass green, put the flowers back at the pyramid like it used to be. I think that could be, cleaned up. I mean, if we want to spend the money that we have, so we don't have to borrow 3 million, because we are going to be coming down August 19th looking for more money. I think every penny this city can save, I think we should save, because we're in for some big hits. Let's face the facts with the high school, police station, and there was a couple other things on the agenda that we're going to be taking some big hits for. I think every single dime that we can save for the taxpayers, I think we should. So I can't support it.
Thank you. Councilor Matusky.
Thank you, Mr. President. The square is depressed. I mean, it's plain to see this is some movement here. But there's a couple of quick fixes, Mr. President. I have suggested a couple within the last year, 2 years, that somebody give the breakfast place a couple of gallons of paint to paint the front of that property. If that was a residential piece of property, the code enforcement would fine you and you would have to do repair. Now, what is going on here? The dollar store window looks like it hasn't changed their advertising in 10 years. It's a nice little store and the restaurant's got good food. But what are these people thinking? You got members here, the business owners. They're not putting any effort into the square. And hopefully, I'm going to vote for this tonight, but hopefully, we're not shoveling against the tide here. It's up to the people to do a little. I'd like to say in the back of Tasty Garden, formerly Tasty Garden, has anybody been back of there? It looks like who did it and ran. There's dumpsters all over the place, trash. I even saw a rat there the other day. You can't make this up. That's our municipal parking lot. Children walk to school to the Devon School and cut through there, and it's sickening. I don't know who allows this to happen, but code enforcement needs to really catch this stuff. And for instance, next to the post office, again, in our parking lot, those transformers or whatever they are for the national grid. Has anybody looked at that? It looks terrible. And as a matter of fact, National Grid said he'd look into it, I don't know, 6, 7 months ago to put some landscaping, at least paint them. I don't know, the city's responsible. But come on, this is Everett Square. You see, if you do one nice thing, like the coffee shop there next to the old post office, coffee in a box. They put some effort into it. It looks beautiful. The library looks beautiful. I mean, there's some gems in the square, but I'm sorry to say, the old Charlotte Bank, the awning hasn't been changed in 30 years. It's all, and the Chamber of Commerce office is just right in the square. I mean, what's going on here? Here we are investing money into the square, and it has to be done. I mean, it looks terrible. It looks like the grapes of wrath in back of the post office. And, I'm sorry to say, I'm glad that we're moving forward on the Bouvier building. That is a big plus. Once that blight is gone, and the mayor said it has to be used for public use, and you're an attorney and former attorney for the city of Melrose, am I right, Mr. President?
Correct.
I thought that a blighted building is another reason why you take it by eminent domain. And that clearly is classified as a blighted property. Am I right? Blighted property is another reason.
You're correct. I'm not here to give you legal advice, Councilor, but you're
Well,
heading
I
down the
hope
right
it's-
path.
Hope it's free of charge. But at any rate, let's get on the ball here. We got a nice grant. And if we don't use it by the end of the year, I guess it is, and I appreciate the other colleagues here. But, I'm 66 now. I don't know what my shelf life is, but I want to see something done in Everett Square, something to be proud of. Nobody puts an American flag in front of their business. We had somebody complain that they had flags on flagpoles there. I don't get it anymore. I mean, you know, put some effort into it. And if I hear the business people in Everett Square, well, for crying out loud, clean your windows, take some pride in this community, and give a couple of gallons of paint to that restaurant. What's going on here? They would be cited in any other city. I don't even know the people that own it or anything. I heard the food is great, but, you know, come on. They go through the back door to get in there. No, we got to vote to get this square at least started. And the mayor is in support of the Bouvier taking. And I disagree that it has to be used for public use. It's a blighted building. Other cities take their property. I know this to be a fact. And I appreciate your legal advice, by the way. But let's get real here. Let's clean up the square. This is a start. You know, for those who think it's not such a good idea, believe me, the square needs an injection. And any issues that might arise during the construction, we have a decent city engineer, Mr. Julius. We can work with these issues. So thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Mr.
Councilor.
President.
Councilor Marchese.
First of all, I'd like to see something happen to that corner building. I wouldn't necessarily like to see it taken by eminent domain. I like to they should come to the table and they should try to do it as a business person. So we're not limited what we can build there. Because that doesn't make sense to own a building and then we can put offices in there. We need something, some stores. Second of all, why does $3 million have to be borrowed to have these grants come into effect? Can $500,000 be borrowed? Can $1 million be borrowed to have this extra money come into effect to develop that grass area? You know, just throwing it out there. Second of all, if we're going to borrow money, why can't we put another level of our parking and back, maybe 2 levels up there somehow? Maybe some incentives for people to actually move their business down there. And also incentives for people to actually use an updated green area, but not necessarily a $5 million green area. I mean, can you borrow 1 million and we get the other $1.5 million and clean it up like Councilor Pietrantonio said? I mean, there's a lot of things to do with, you know, putting a green football field there, but having no business there. So a lot of things think they make sense. They don't make sense. Especially when you take it by eminent domain. We're limited what can be done there. It's a beautiful building and the right person who buys it can put something nice in there. You know, I won't be sporting $3 million to be borrowed. I won't. But, you know, if someone came up and said, Mike, we're going to do $1 million. We're going to do the green over. I mean, I don't want to see a place we're going to have like trucks parked there selling hamburgers and tacos and stuff. That's not what I envision downtown to be. So I won't be voting for this, but someone presented something to me where less money was borrowed and the incentives, the money that the state rep has and whatever we have for the gaming commission comes into play and they can clean up that area with the money. I'd be agreeable to that. But I also think that it should be done professionally. Hate to see the idea of us taken by eminent domain. I hate repeating myself and becoming a very limited building. That has high expectations. That could be the centerpiece of development Everett. And also, it wouldn't hurt to have a 2 or 3 story parking lot built anywhere. Christ, they just put one up like an erector set down off of 2nd Street. I mean, we can do that. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. President. I did speak about this at the public hearing because I do have some concerns with the project, specifically with the traffic it's going to cause developing, making that look how they want it to. Because where I live on Broadway, we've had Ferry Street and Broadway, Glendale Square area affected tremendously during that project. And I've had residents calling me complaining that they can't get to their own house. I haven't even been able to get to my own house at times because of the roadblocks. And it's just, I think we have way too many projects going on at the same time. And it would be nice if we could finish one before jumping to the next. That's my piece. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the motion for favorable action on item number 16? Without further discussion, Mr. Clerk, please call a roll.
This is for item number 16, favorable action. Councilor Alcee-Joubin.
No.
Councilor DePiero.
Yes.
Councilor Garcia.
No.
Councilor Hanlon. Councilor Marchese.
No.
Councilor Martins.
No.
Councilor Matusky.
Yes.
Councilor Petrantonio.
No.
Councilor Rogers,
Yes.
and Council President Van Campen.
Yes.
4 yeas, 6 nays, Mr.
4
President.
yeas, 6 nays, the order has failed to pass. Clerk will read the next order, please. Item number,
Mr.
Sorry, we didn't
President,
no, I'm sorry,
24.
Council.
Shotgun shine, shake my body, bone in the bad sound. Blue moon in your eyes.